In the last session, we have learnt about force of attraction between the molecules in the matter. Okay. In this session, we will be learning how diffusion takes place. Okay.
Okay,
In the
ma'am.
last session, in the small content, we told that in the gases, the diffusion takes place fast.
First,
Okay. When
more
compared
free
with
particles.
more
Solid
free
and
particles.
liquids.
Yes,
When
ma'am.
compared with solids and liquids,
Liquids.
gases have
More molecule gap.
more molecule gap. So
And
that
diffusion
if there are
speed
more
is so fast.
more gaps, if there are more gaps,
The diffusion rate and
The diffusion rate
and
will-
compressibility rate will be more.
more.
Yeah.
Yes, this is the regular pattern of molecules in solids. Okay, solids we can see this kind of arrangement, and in liquids
Liquids.
there are some gaps which are less than solids.
Less than
Yes, ma'am. Actually, more gap than solids.
Yeah.
Here in gases,
Gases. More,
Like,
more and more gaps.
yes, ma'am. If we compare to solid and liquid,
Solid
this
and
is the
liquid.
most
more
most
gaps.
gap.
So
more
diffusion
gaps.
takes place. From this we can clearly say that the diffusion is taking place more in
More in
gases
Yes, ma'am.
when compared with
Solids and liquids.
liquids.
Ma'am,
And
yes, ma'am. In solid, there is
Particles
very
of-
little place in the middle of molecules. That's the reason that diffusion is very rare
Very
and
rare.
and
And
compressibility is
is
no
also very
very
less.
very
Not
proper.
very, very
Less, ma'am.
less.
Rain movement.
And liquids also, due to the presence of very small gaps when
Gaps.
compared with gases.
Gases.
Here also the compressibility and the diffusion is
Less.
less
Compared to
Compared to
gas.
gas.
compared to gases.
But it is higher
Higher
compared to
higher
solid.
than compared to
Yes, ma'am.
solids.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, so diffusion taking place in gases is more. Particles of solids, liquids and gases can be diffused into liquids and gases.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, solids, liquids and gases can be diffused into liquids
And
and
gases.
gases. Okay, so from this alignment we can say that diffusion is more in gases.
Gases.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So can particles can absorb the amount of heat which is present
Yes, ma'am.
in the surroundings.
Yes, ma'am.
ఓకేనా సో ఏదైనా ఒక పార్టికల్ మనము దాని స్టేట్ని చేంజ్ చేయవచ్చు విత్ ద హెల్ప్ ఆఫ్ హీట్.
Heat.
ఓకే, ఇఫ్ వీ వాంట్ టు కన్వర్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ సాలిడ్ టు లిక్విడ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ latent heat of fusion.
Yes, ma'am.
ఓకేనా, అగైన్ ఫ్రమ్ liquid to gas it is called latent heat of vaporization. Okay, so there exists space between particles and liquid particles in liquid have some space. We have seen in the salt and water
Yeah,
experiment. Okay. Activity 8. So far is it clear?
Yes.
Doubts enti nana?
Ma'am, how diffusions take place in our day-to-day life, ma'am?
డిఫ్యూషన్ ఇందాక చెప్పుకున్నాం కదా అండి. డిఫ్యూషన్ ఇన్ వైల్ టేకింగ్ ఇన్సెన్స్ స్టిక్ పూజా రూమ్లో అండ్ డియో స్ప్రే
Ma'am, can I say?
అండ్ ఈవెన్ ఇన్ రెస్పిరేషన్. ఓకే, రెస్పిరేషన్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు మన లంగ్స్ ఆక్సిజన్ మన బ్లడ్కి ఇచ్చేస్తుంది, అలాగే కార్బన్ డైఆక్సైడ్ ఫ్రమ్ బ్లడ్ టేక్స్. ఓకేనా, సో దిస్ ఈస్ హౌ ద రెస్పిరేషన్ in the form of diffusion takes place. Okay Nana, I will ask you a doubt
Okay, ma'am.
about diffusion. how this diffusion help aquatic animals?
Ma'am, when they breathe, ma'am,
When
the
bubbles dissolves into water, they will go up, ma'am. That air will go up, ma'am. Water absorbs the air.
ma'am,
like
in water the air is dissolved, ma'am. They use the default the diffused air, ma'am, and they be underwater, ma'am.
ఓకే, మనము ఇంట్లో జనరల్గా అక్వేరియం పెట్టుకుంటాము.
Yes, ma'am.
అదే aquatic animals అనేది నార్మల్ రివర్ ఆర్ ఎనీ ఓషన్లో పెరుగుతున్నప్పుడు మనం వాటికి ఏమి ఫిల్టరింగ్ ఇవ్వము, మనం వాటికి ఆక్సిజన్ కూడా ఇవ్వము.
natural diffusion takes.
ఎస్,
Yes, ma'am.
ఓకే. బట్ అదే మనం ఇంటికి తీసుకొచ్చిన తర్వాత
Oxygen.
వాటికి మనము సెపరేట్గా
Filtration and oxygen.
Right, like some
ఎస్ వై
gases.
Because in our regular water,
between growing of this aquatic animals in rivers or ponds or in aquarium?
ma'am, in
In
aquarium,
so small space, no, ma'am.
Yes.
We will keep under under a slope. No direct air will contact. with them.
ma'am, and in oceans and pond, naturally the oxygen is dissolved into the water,
Yes,
ma'am.
naturally,
So
like-
we don't want any filtration or anything, ma'am. But in aquarium, as it is closed, the oxygen doesn't get.
Temperature, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, and the oxygen doesn't get dissolved, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am. We should keep the oxygen.
Separate oxygen is required when they are separately growing,
Yes, ma'am.
about to grow in fish aquarium.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is the end of our matter around us chapter.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
Okay.
so is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, Nana, thank you.
Thank you.